Good morning. Sorry, I'm messaging, trying to multitask. It's not my strong suit. Actually, no, I take that back. I can multitask pretty well. It is the last day of February. Where did the time go? I mean, I swear I was just saying, oh, it's February 1st. Good morning. Trying to message this client back telling them I got their fabric for their bag yesterday. It just dawned on me when I looked at the box when I came in here. I was like, I didn't message them back yesterday. All right. It's Tuesday, the last day of the month, and tomorrow's March 1st. And tomorrow will be 26 days until my son turns 11, my baby. He goes to junior high in fall, and I'm like totally freaking out. I already had the last Valentine, so this is like all the last of the elementary school stuff, and I'm like really weirdly emotional. Little fun fact about me, I don't get overly emotional about things. I'm like, "Oh my god, how many times can I get do this or whatever." I'm not that person. I do have some sentimental traits. Like if you were to look at my nightstand, I have like letters from people, not cards. I'm not a card person, but I love when people write me letters. I don't know why. Um I have like weird stuff that mean things. Like if for example, Kendall's grandmother, when I first met her, she bought me a perfume called Beautiful. And I used it, and my daughter used it without me knowing, but I won't throw away the empty bottle because that was the first gift I got from her. So, like, I'm like sentimental like that. I have like the first stick ticket stubs that me and Kendall went on dates with, like that, but I don't get excited about stuff. And now I'm like, overly emotional because he's the last kid that I have that's in elementary school. And we just had the last Valentine's, and I was a wreck off of that because that's fun. That's a really fun part. And our school district is really cool about having like fall festivals, Halloween themes, bazaars, and all that stuff. And it's like the last of it, and it's just coming up to like too fast. Never fails. One of my dogs go off during a live. Ooh, what do you have, a like a motif? Do you have a color scheme for your black backsplash? My husband wants to take out. He did a faux one like 6 years ago, and he wants to take it out and do another one. I want one of those water pick things that you could put in the pots and fill the water. I really want one of those. I really, really want one of those because I hate filling the water, like going over to the kitchen. I know it's lazy, but it's such a cool technique. And I also think it's smart to have if you have a gas stove. The water's right there. I think that that should be a part of a gas stove. Like you have one of the water pick things. It's really fancy. I watch them on HTV and I'm envious of those things. Yeah, every time. Like, so what happens is my neighbor has like, they have a, this big, massive truck that I always want to be like, can I drive it? Just get my California, like in California, I like to drive massive trucks because they're, they intimidate like the little smaller cars. I haven't drove like ridden in a truck in a very long time. And then they also have like two Harleys, which I don't know about you, but there's something about when they start that engine and that purr. Oh my god, it is like that could be my nighttime put her to sleep. I love that sound. Um, but whenever it goes off, my dogs go bananas. So I don't know. It's Good morning, Michelle. Yeah, like yeah, they just go off. Like they go off when I'm filming too. Like if you watch the Ava from Sally Tomatoes, they go off not once, but I think like four times. And I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, the sound of a Harley, it's like a purr. Like it is It is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous sound. I like the way motorcycles sound, period, though. Roxy will bark if she hears a butterfly flap her wings. And we have last year for my anniversary, all I've ever wanted since I lived here. I'm not a plant person. I've killed cactuses. I should have a green thumb because my grandfather, he used to like he was a gardener. He used to be a gardener in all like in UK, Spain, everywhere. And he's from Spain. And when he came to America, he would he did a lot of like famous people's like front yards, backyards, parks, and all this stuff. And I would go with him, and I like know the principles and what to do. I just suck. I do not have a green thumb, but I am going to start honing in on it and remembering these beautiful details he taught me because I will have my dark garden in the front. That is a promise. By the end of March, I will do a vlog. I will show you the beginning and the end. I seen this thing on Pinterest where this lady had all her flowers were purple, black, and like blues, and she called it the Nightshade Garden. I'm doing it because one, to piss off my HOA lady. Yeah, I said it. I said what I said. I'm not taking it back. And two, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something that's so off the wall that everybody else is going to clutch their pearls. I don't know why. It makes me happy. I like orchids, but I think I can kill those things on just by looking at them. I don't know what it is. I really want to grow a vanilla bean plant, but those things take like forever in a day to actually get fruit. Okay, I might have to look at Kat Von D's now. I want a dark garden. I really, really want one. So then when I started like going deep diving into Google, like a lot of people have them and they thrive better because they're darker. Like something about the pigmentation and light. And we live in an area where we get a little bit of light. Like we're not a candidate for solar panels because the sun doesn't hit our house directly at all. So I'm going to go for like minimal plants, but I want them all dark purples, blues, just just dark. And I want them to be different seasonal. Like me and Hope are like planning it out. So like different flowers bloom. Right now we have snowdrops all over our garden. They're absolutely gorgeous. I love snowdrops. It's kind of sad though. It's bittersweet because it's the end of winter. I like winter. I like every season. I'm not a summer person though, because I don't like being hot, but I like the longer days. Does that make sense? Like I like the fact that the days are longer, but I don't like heat at all. I don't mind humidity because like it's good for your hair and your skin. So, but I don't like heat. Ooh, succulents are pretty. Okay, I'm now going to be looking up black elephant plant. I'm just going to write these down. um, oh yeah. See, you guys are feeling me. I'm going to do it. So Kendall and me and Hope are working on something for the front yard because Kendall grows like kale, cucumbers, all green beans, everything in the backyard. That's his playground. He loves to grow stuff. We can't do pumpkins anymore because Loki, he like patiently waits until they get about this big and then he destroys them. And then I refuse to eat the pumpkins anymore because when they grow, and Kendall's like, I didn't put any seedlings down, they're Loki poop pumpkins. And I'm hard pass on that. Yeah, I really want to do a garden. Like I want to have it like where I could sit in the front and do something like I don't know, scandalous. Like my okay, I don't know why my HOA lady, she is probably not a mean person at all, but she does mean actions. I'll give you an example and then you'll understand. I'm not a person that's really vindictive, but if you bring that side out of me, game on. Like, for example, when COVID happened and everyone had to stay inside their house, she went around to everyone's cars. Luckily, our car tags were up to date, but she went around to everyone's car tags, looked at them, put a chalk mark. If they didn't like respond to her or say something to her, she went and got them towed during COVID. when we're in lockdown, when the MVA is not open to update tags. Like, who does that? She gave like a person on the side of me that had poison ivy a fine, and then when they weren't able to get someone to out there to pull it down, she gave them another fine. Like, she's like really, she's one of the original founders of this townhouse community. Our townhouse community doesn't even have 100 townhouses. She's just not, she's not a very nice person. And I've tried because I felt like, maybe because she's, older and she's alone, she needs someone to like talk to, whatever. No, no. I thought it would be like out of the storybooks that I will talk to her and then we can be like friends and we can work together as a unit and team. No. So now I'm going to be reading Practical Magic in my dark garden in the front come April. Okay, so I read all the bylaws. I know I could do this. Yeah, poop pumpkins are real with Loki. I'm not. If you ever are one of the few people that I'm like, hey, you want to watch Loki and he eats your pumpkins and then you get magical pumpkins the next season and you didn't plant any seeds, that's Loki. Oh, but I like white, like quartz and gray. Our house, all our upstairs is all different shades of gray. I love gray. And then my focal walls, he has it a dark gray. It's called cracked pepper. And then he stenciled. Notice that you don't hear me say I paint. I'm not a good painter. I'm mess. If you ever see me paint edge paint or glue, you know I'm messy. So there's so he stenciled like water. Oh, so on one wall it's glossy. No, it's matte crack pepper. Crack pepper. That's the name of the paint from Home Depot. And then there's raindrops falling down that are glossy in that color. He's really creative. And our bedroom is like that too. We have a focal wall, but on the cracked pepper is red. So if you come into my room, it's not noticeable, but there are a very few pictures of me, like when I'm striking outfits. If I'm sitting on my chase, you can notice it. The wall is like this grayish black, and then there's red coming down. And I was like, yes, yes. Well, he likes red. He's a Kappa, and this was a happy compromise. I got to get my dark room with a splash of red. I don't know. I like dark colors even though my hair is bright. And I had like bright colors in here, like the Tiffany's blue. I'm really weird. I'm a complicated person when it comes down to colors. Our kitchen is stainless steel. We have gray and blue black splash, but I kind of want it to be one solid color. I just haven't picked out a color yet. I haven't picked out. I haven't picked out, but I will because I know he's tired of that backsplash. I just was waiting until we figured out how we want to situate the kitchen because he wants more of an open concept and knock down one of the doors. One of the walls. I don't. I like the idea of open concept, but I like a closed off kitchen, not like completely closed off, but just I don't know. I like the idea of having it separate. Uh, it's complicated when you have someone that has opinions too. Yeah, she is super power crazy. Like it's weird. It's a very weird thing. Just like there's like meetings like twice a year, times a year, and we get our newsletter after the meetings have happened. And there's not like an online presence because it's a small complex. It's only 100 houses. Um, and then there's a lot of newer people. So in my head, I was like, hey, we should have like kids block parties, like happy end of summer or happy beginning of school. Not all my ideas go out the window, or like there'll be legit areas of the community that I'm worried about. Like when you're walking to the kids' school before you walk off of our property and get onto Howard County's park property, there is a tree that's literally coming out of the where the fire hydrants get their water and the sidewalk. I'm like, I feel like this tree needs to get pulled up. I don't know. It's right by the public water supply. Just throwing it out there. How did I get into making bags? I okay, so my abuelita, she sewed. She made costumes, dresses, she tailored, she did it all. She didn't I never seen her make a bag though. So she's probably looking down like you did it, should have. So I've always known how to sew. The first time I made a bag was by pure freakishly accident. I was a bridesmaid, and all of us were supposed to have like these little clutches for our for the after party. The clutches didn't come, and the bride just like totally freaked out. It was like an envelope clutch, and I was like, I can make that. So I made up a quick pattern, and I made all of us envelope pouches, and everyone was like, oh my god, I didn't know you can make bags. And I was like, cool, 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 whatever. A few years later, I stumbled upon Crafty Gemini, and she was giving her first how to make bag classes, and I signed up, and I made a couple of her bags, and I really loved it. And then she posted a picture with her and Sarah Lawson going to Disneyland and Disney World. And then that's how I discovered Sarah Lawson. And then I just start stumbling down the rabbit hole making bags. And then when I went to a Comic-Con, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of people out there making it. And I thought, I always like geeky stuff, and I'm always putting like patches on my bag to make them geeky. So I started creating bags for other people like me that want geeky bags. Like I would put patches like these all over my bags. So then I was like, let me make bags. And that's how I started. But the first people, like it's I get a lot of people emailing me who is a good big beginner bag making person. And I always say Crafty Gemini and Sarah Lawson from Sew Sweetness, who owns Sew Sweetness. It's just Vanessa and Sarah have a way to teach people that I've never seen anyone else do. They break it down, and then when you're done with your bag, you feel so accomplished of what you did. So, but yeah, it all started off being a bridesmaid and a bride freaking out that we didn't have clutches. Hey, Nova. I almost said, hey, Nova. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what, she's old. I also, I don't know what her name is. Okay, Monica has mentioned this. I remember bags, not names. I also have this bad habit of nicknaming people things. So the first time I met her, this is really gross. So like earmuff it for a second if you can't handle grossness. The first time I met her, she coughed and there was like blood specter, so I called her consumption. Now, unfortunately, my whole household calls her that. So they'll be like, yeah, we ran into consumption at the grocery store. And I'm like, she's going to find out we named her that. Very true. So I wanted to show the bag that I made, the Ava. This is a big baby, but the only modifications, because if it's not me, if I don't modify something, is I made this a little bit slender because in the pattern, it's like about 1 1/4 of an inch, and it kind of like buckles in here. And it has that use of locking it in because this doesn't have a tab here, but you can add that if you wish. But I just like a slender one so it fits nice and smooth. And I like this because I feel like it's safe because someone has to literally unbuckle your pack to try to get into it. By the time they do the first one, you could feel it. When you open it up, you have this large slip pocket that can hold a lot, like popcorn. You have this inside has no pockets. If you make this bag, you can add pockets, add zipper pockets. You can add like mesh so that you can put a computer in, or you can add like a band to hold a computer in. I made this in all waterproof canvas, so that way if someone uses it for technology, you can. In the front, you have a nice wide, big zipper pocket. And the cool thing about this bag is it has this massive zipper in the back and this huge, like this pocket goes all the way down to here. So you have a lot of compartments to this bag, and it has, you know, a backpack, and it's super cute. And I thought, let me make it Tatooine theme. Let's do some undercover Star Wars stuff. Yeah, the straps were pretty cool because I didn't know what to do with the webbing that I bought because it was more for lanyards, and I don't really make a lot of lanyards. And if I do, I usually use a 1/2 inch webbing. So I put it on. I did it for the one that I made that I'm going to be doing in the Garner room. This is the Noodlehead Sandhill. So I did something similar. I used the webbing, and then I used 3/4 of an inch on the back to help reinforce it. Inside this beautiful tote, this sling, I used some Ewok fabric, and there is the slip pocket, and I decided to bind it. I think I don't know if I'm going to teach how to bind during that weekend retreat, or how to do a drop-in lining. I really want to do drop-in linings because a lot of people are intimidated by it, but I feel like if I'm in person and I can help you, once you get it, you're going to be like, yes, drop-in lining on everything. Another one that I feel like that is, I'm going to say this wrong, and Erica, if she's watching this, she's going to be like, Shinova, the raw du there's one with an R that from Erica from Leopard and Twine made. It's a drop-in lining, and that stuff is easy peasy lemon squeezing. Like the way she explains it in her breaking it down, not only in her video, but in the instructions, you're a little hesitant at first, and then you're like, wait, this is easy. That's how I feel about this. I feel like Noodlehead made a really cool alternative for drop-in lining. This is a wax canvas. There's a nice zipper pocket in the front too. And then I took some scrap cork, because remember, scraps don't go behind. And I made these little toggles, and then I put little Ewoks on the side too. And then, of course, one of Lord's tags saying, made in a galaxy far, far away. I think this is cute. I'm going to try to get some pictures of this with my son once he gets his haircut. Okay, Ken, if you're watching this, once you get your haircut, and then I will put it up for sale and take some pictures. I'm trying to get some really cute pictures with him because he likes Star Wars too. Yeah, that bag is huge. The bag is the bag is massive. But like, seriously, picture it. Sicily. No, picture it. Summer, hiking. You make that bad boy an all water resistant canvas. You could put things in there, and if it rains, your stuff won't get messed up. Or picture it, you're done with your kids, and you're going to your grandparents' house for the weekend. You stuff all their stuff in there, and you ship them off. Or you're like, hey, I want a weekend getaway. I'm going to go to So Magical thing. Stuff all your stuff in there, put it on, get on the flight, and go. That bag is super useful. I like the Ava. It has tons of potential. I definitely want to modify it to have more pockets, and I have this idea with elastic and having a nice cushion bag, so that way if you put a tablet or a computer, it can be up against the back of the bag. Also a mesh pocket, so that way you could put either a mesh pocket or a mesh zipper pocket, so that has this plastic overlay on it, so that way you could put wet items, like if you were like swimming in a lake and then you're now putting your shorts back in there, but it can be separate from the rest of the compartment. I have some ideas for that because I think that's like the perfect hiking bag. And I was trying to figure out how to put either a yoga mat or a roll-up camper thing on top, because I think that is like the perfect shape for it. What weekend is that? It's going to be the first weekend of June, actually. We haven't, it's going to be the first weekend of June, which is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Pictures. I know, total Golden Girls lover right here. I told Kendall, if when we get old and if he's no longer with me, that I'm totally going to be a Blanche Devereaux. And he was like, that's good to know. It's good to know. I'm going to Blanche Devereaux this. Yesterday, my foot came in. I'm trying to find it. The one that I was speaking about, I don't know if it fits. I haven't put it on it. If not, I'll put it on my brother to see if it fits, because my brother's a low shank. But it kind of looks, it's like a cool little walking foot. Like, I'm curious. I'm going to use it. If it fits today, I'm going to use it on something and test it out. If it doesn't fit on my Juki, then I'll tell you tomorrow and say if it fits on my brother. So that way, if you have a low shank, this might be something you want to look into. I got it from I think it's Sew Therapy. I had the tag right. Yeah, Soulful Therapy. The tank foot. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I mean, I'm hoping it fits on my Juki, because I am curious to see this thing in action. I also got, because I'm going to be doing a Arbor Freight to like Harbor Freight, I get, Nova's Nugget. And one thing I like about my Arbor Freight is that I can take different uh, rivet sets, like the handheld ones, and I put it in there and it sets. I just barely press it, it sets. So I was always curious. Soulful Therapy had the Mickey Mouse head, and I'm like, oh, sucky sucky. I'm gonna put my Mickey Mouse things and pop it in, and without squishing their heads, because I've squished their heads like a lot. Because the pressing plate doesn't work if you put. I'm like, it just. I don't have the patience to go like baby steps. So yeah, they have like it has Mickey's head, and then you can put your rivets, and then I'm gonna use the Arbor Freight, and I'll pop it in. Yes, yeah, or that, or like Monica made a bag for her son recently. She did the one, the anti-theft one from Lynn's Handmade that everyone makes, and it's always cute. Oh, I know the name of the bag. Yep, the Guardian. So she made the Guardian, and she put a strap that goes around the waist also to tie and connect, because he likes that filling. I feel like that's another feature that could be cool for. I think this is a perfect camping and hiking bag, to be honest with you. And spring's about to happen. Summer and spring is when people do the most activities outside. So I think this would be cool. I feel like if mesh pockets are made in there and some separate compartments, it could be a really good diaper bag. And I also think it could be a really cool camp bag for kids. Yeah. The cutting, honestly, cutting out the bag takes longer for me, because there's only very few pattern pieces. It takes longer than to make the bag comes together really quickly. Um, they're very clever on how you birth the bag, and there's no like it. You birth it all through this ginormous pocket, so it's really really clever. Um, I like it. I like the way it is. And then you can always like do small modifications. If you don't have 1.5 inch webbing, you can do 1 inch, like do what you have available for you. Use up your stash, you know? And I don't know. I think it's good for all materials. Like if you, I know that in the instructions, there are some people that just use like Shape Flex 101. You can use batting. You can use fusible fleece. You can use a lot of variations to make the bag look completely different. I like the fact that how the bag gets put together. Like the exterior only has one side that has foam, and then the interior has the other side that has foam. And it is actually quite brilliant. I never thought about doing things like that. It was pretty cool. I love learning from like off of new patterns. Thank you. I'm starting to like it now. At first I did not really, I was really reluctant, but as I wash it, it's turning more lavender, and I'm kind of liking little pops of the blue. But I really thought I can get away with getting my hair like the roots touched up for bleached like 6 to 8 weeks. It has not been 2 weeks, and I already have like a lot of like new growth. It's crazy. My hair is super dark, so it's really noticeable. Um, Maybe a shadow root next time. Just throwing. I need to put that down in my. Hey, can you put a shadow root on? Um, and then I trimmed it on Sunday, so I was really excited about that. Kindle's always reluctant because I go scissor happy. Like, yes, I like this shape. I'm not afraid to cut. I'm always afraid to dye though. Um, so yeah, that's basically so today what I plan on doing is I'm trying to cornhorse Monica to go live with me on Swoon, because I have a Dorian that I need to make. I have a Patreon video I need to finish making the Mabel. I did part of it. I just need to finish it up and then have Kendall edit it. So that will be available for them probably around 7, 8, because Kendall now works like an hour away from home. I kind of miss the 7 minutes, but it's good for him. He likes the promotion. He's doing what he does best, like talking and selling and networking. He's such a people person. It's so different for me. So different. Thank you. Yeah, it was. It was way, way too light. I put some blue shampoo on hair so I could help tone it because it was kind of yellow and brassy. My hair gets, when I go like blonde, it gets yellow brassy like really quick. And I think it's the water. So normally I have to go in with a hard water treatment in like at least once a month to remove all the minerals. I swear in another life I would have been a hair, like a cosmetologist or a hairdresser because I love working with hair. um, but alas, I am not. I also wanted to be a professional cook. I also thought I would be a really good radio DJ because my voice is weird and it's kind of deep, and I like to make accents and whatever. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically it. I'm trying to cone horse Monica if she's watching. Monica to go live with me in Swoon. I have a Dorian that I need to make, and I know she has some kind of Swoon project in one of her UFOs. Just to say hi to everyone in there because it's been a minute since we've been live, and I thought it would be nice. I have a Dorian project anyways, and you guys already seen me make a Dorian tutorial, so it would be easy peasy. I love that bag. And I'm going to do some slight modifications, putting the mesh pocket in the front and putting some elastic in to carry pencils and whatever. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do to hold the Pokemon cards so that they don't get wet. So I might put like a zipper see-through pocket so you could put your Pokemon cards in there so you can still see them, but they don't get wet in case something spills on it. He works for Regis. He basically, so every company building is owned by a company. Regis owns most buildings across the world, from Tokyo to China to whatever. So he works for the company, and they own several buildings, and not several, like most of Maryland buildings. And he's one of the project managers, and they're opening up a new center in Hagerstown. It's about an hour and a half away. And they asked him because people like Kendall. People really like Kendall. He's like basically what you see in on the film when I film him. He's like that, but times a bazillion. Like he's really nice. I'm the one that people usually steer away from. We are completely polar opposite. He's really nice. He's easy to talk to. He's like not funny. I feel like I'm funny. He's like dad joke funny. Like you're like, super funny. Like, he's not funny at all. Like, but he's like quirky, so I guess and kind of corny, so it's funny to me. I don't know. He doesn't 100% get my sense of humor. He says that I'm like Deadpool, that I have like a dry, sarcastic humor. So I was like, dead on, man. Good morning. And so he does that. He manages all these different buildings in Maryland. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm just trying to get him home at a good enough time. And that's gonna, like I said, that be patient with that video because it's not like a 2 hour thing. We have to make the wax canvas. It needs to cure. And depending on the weather, like if it's really humid or whatever, it could take longer than 72 hours to dry. And then he could show you how to seal it. So, and once I get all that together and hope or him edit it, then we will be able to have it. We're definitely working on it. It just, that drying process is a very long process. It does wax canvas. The reason why I think I love it so much is it truly is a labor of love. When you see people selling it and you're trying to figure out why it costs like 40 something dollars for 1 yard, there's a reason. There's so much that goes into it. Sometimes you can get wax on sale, but I normally never see the brand that I like. I'm trying this new brand, but I have to get a new can because I left it in my room and I left my dog and he ate all the beeswax. So Loki. Oh, he's fine. The vet said he's fine. Oh, Loki. Yeah, opposites definitely do attract. He's more charismatic. He goes into a room, everybody is automatically attracted to him, wants to talk. I'm that person in the corner watching everybody and secretly judging maybe. So yeah, that Loki is man, I shouldn't call his name. He's like Beetlejuice. You say his name way too many times, he will come out of nowhere. As you've seen in the other live as I fly across the room. He's a good puppy though. He's just really into socks in like whatever natural products. Like if he like even hair products, if the products are way too natural, if it has like something, there's something about slippery elm that his like, I don't know, it's like catnip to him. He can smell that no matter where it is in the house. And they use it in a lot of natural hair products, especially gels. Oh, I think I laugh a lot, but again, he judges my personality. He said if I was a superhero, he already knows I would be like Deadpool because I'm super sarcastic, and I know it. Like that is my favorite superhero because I would be a Hancock or a Deadpool because I believe just because you have powers, the world shouldn't rely on you to, save it. Like that's me. That's just me. I know that goes against the Marvel verse, but I kind of like Deadpool because he like beats like it's what he wants to do. He does sometimes do the right thing, but there's a lot of things he does wrong. And I don't know, there's something about flawed characters that I really like. I don't know. Yeah, Kendall's not funny. If he's watching this, he knows it. He's like sometimes he'll get a good joke in, but he's not like ha 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 like he's corny dad jokes. Like, and don't get me wrong, there's a whole theme for it. Like, look at that guy. What is his name? Something Kennedy. He's always on Facebook or on Instagram. He has the corniest, funniest dad jokes. And I do laugh, but they're that. They're just that. They're dad jokes. Me, like, Hope is like me too. She has like sarcastic, like, commentary all the time. That's the only kid. The other two are not. Hope, Faith, and Kin are not that funny either. They're kind of like corny, like they have like but boom. But yeah, no, I call a spade a spade. They're not funny. Hope is funny though. Hope is really funny. Like really, really funny. And she's a really good observer. Yeah. Papa, can you hear me? Yes. It does sound exactly like the Frozen song though. Like I put them side by side. Like I put one on one TV and then on my tablet. I'm like, that is dead on. It is dead on Frozen. Papa, can you hear me? Yeah, that's exactly. They're funny because they're not. That's it. Like they're funny because they're not. And I have this firm believer. I feel like people that are observers are generally more funny because they see cues and they I don't know. I just think because people observe things more often, they have a million things running through their head. So it becomes a little bit more funny versus somebody else that just like walks in and is like floating around and butterflying with everyone and they're just enjoying the present versus the like the emo Hope and Shinova in a corner just like calculating everything. So it's different. She's funny though. I think she's even funny on her little YouTube channel. Like she had a video about eating Doritos. The whole video is about eating Doritos. And I was dying. And Kendall's like, I don't find it funny. I was like, well, all those views say different. Yeah, see, I like people that tell jokes. I do. I think it's funny. I think sarcasm is a rare form of an artistic ability. Let's really look. Okay, before Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool, name one Reynolds movie where he wasn't sarcastic. One. Because even in Sabrina, he was sarcastic. It's a career. Sarcasm takes observation and timing and being witty. Like it legit is a it there's like a it's a brilliant thing. His sarcasm made his career, but his first video movie, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm aging myself, was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So, and he was sarcastic in that. Yeah, sarcasm is my best trait too. I'm not gonna even lie. I don't know. I think Kendall married me because I'm funny, but I also think I don't know. I think he just understands me that me being quiet is not being compliant. It's more, I'm just an observer. I know I married him because he's fun and he has great conversation. I could talk to him. I can literally get off of off here, and me and Kendall can have phone conversations why he's at work or why he's somewhere else for hours, just like hours, just talking. Like we don't see each other every single day. So he's my best friend. So it's I married him because he was legitimately my best friend. I've never the moment I have first talked to Kendall on the phone, I've never talked to him not like for one day. Like I think I would totally flip out if I didn't talk to him in a day. Um and I could talk to him on the phone. Like if I was to call him right now and be like, "Hey, when you go home, when you come back home, I need you to go to CVS, this, and that." We will get off topic and talk about something random for like an hour and have no time or presence of what the time was. I could or like when he comes home and after the kids are eating, they're doing their homework. If I'm in the bedroom and I'm sitting on the chase, he'll like lay across the bed and we'll just talk. Like he's a good talker. He's a good person to conversate with. He's just not funny. he's not, um, he's really loving. He's the opposite of me, and like he's really like he hugs the kids. He hugs the dogs. He's really empathetic and sympathetic. And where I'm more a little bit more reserved, I don't. It's not that I'm not cuddly. It's just I don't know. I'm just not as cuddly as Kendall. Um, so we'll talk about just random stuff all the time. Like yesterday, we were talking about modular couches because we're trying to look for a new couch. And I was trying to tell him about the couches that separate and you could turn into a full bed and or a chase or has storage. And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, I had to look up the word. It's called a modular couch. And the one that I want is from Lovesac, but there's no way in Hades we can afford that. They like start at like 5K. Who has that? Who has anyway, so I was trying to see who like their competitor is and like their lower price and like it's Ashley and Bob's Furnitures and he's like I hate Bob's Furniture. So we literally had a conversation about modular couches for like an hour from like 6 to 7 because I didn't know the word for it and I finally found it. I was so excited for the word. Yeah. Those things are crazy expensive and like so like I really wanted one because I'm the girl that gets the warranty on like blow dryers. I'm the girl that gets the warranty on couches, vacuum cleaners because I believe in warranties because I've had things fail and then they'll send me a new one. Um I was looking for it, but the ones that were more in our price range, my husband hates Bob's Furniture. Like he's like it's super uncomfortable, it deflates. So I was like, well, Ashley's has one and they have like a warranty of a dog stains it, scratches it, whatever. And he was like, that's all you're looking at. I'm like, yeah, if it has the warranty, then I'll start looking at the couches. So yeah, we want a modular one because we're like, if someone comes to visit, we can just move it around and now it's a full bed or like having extra storage because like apparently every kid in my house has to have 20 blankets in the living room. Why? Just one throw because I don't want to touch Hope's blanket and you're like I don't want 20 blankets on the couch. Like, oh, there's a couch underneath all those blankets? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when you what like $5,000, I'll be like, I could buy so much leather and fabric. I could buy like a year's supply of cork. Just throwing it out there. He's like, really? I really honestly, if I won the lotto, I would buy um one of those love couches and probably one of those big beanie thing, like the big beanie bags so I could have in the corner of my workroom so I could just throw myself. Because in the commercials, you always see some kid or an adult just like run and like jump into it. I don't know how successful I would be with this, but I really want to try it. I wasn't successful in my first leaf fall because I'm from California, so we don't have those massive leaf piles. If you're from IE, the Inland Empire, then you already know when it get from summer to fall, like all the leaves like just fall off in like one day, and they're like brown. They're not like these pretty reds and yellows. So I never jumped in the leaf pile. So the first time I came here, that was like the first thing I did, and yeah, I hit a fire hydrant on my ribs. It's not like they show you in the movies, kids. It's not. I was like, yes. there's a massive, because in our community we get like this massive, and these tree people come and suck up all the leaves, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna jump in this leaf pile. Jump, fire hydrant. That was 13 years ago. Still haven't forgot it. Every time I see a leaf pile, my ribs start to ache. It sucks so hard. I won't like go and jump into a snow thing anymore because of that either, because they apparently put leaf piles and snow piles around like fire hydrants. Why did you do that? Like why? Okay, so that's just my community. Yeah, cooties. Cooties are real in my house, and Faith doesn't want something that Hope touch. Hope doesn't want something that Faith has. Like we're to the point where we have color coded our towels. Like Ken, you get blue. Hope you have purple. Faith, you get light blue. So that way they don't like cross contaminate. Because I swear to God, they think it's going to be like the Umbrella Corporation, and they're going to turn into a zombie. Heaven forbid if they touch the same face towel. So yes. Oh yeah, and then also I married Kendall because he does the laundry. Yes, yes, people. My spouse does the laundry. I don't do laundry. He doesn't like the way I fold clothes or put clothes away or wash clothes. See, because I grew up with darks, lights, and like reds and purples and by themselves. So reds and purples, darks, lights, and whites, right? 4 piles. This dude has like 100 piles. Blues all go together. Greens all go together. I'm like, yeah, I have no time for that. So, he does the laundry. He does like the weirdest thing. All blacks need to go together. Why can't the blacks and brown? No, all the blacks have to go together. All the browns go together. I'm like, okay, you're doing what I do with my Skittles, but at the end of the day, they all go in my stomach. So, okay, you do the laundry. He does the laundry. In all fairness, I do the bathrooms. I don't like how anyone cleans the bathrooms. I'm really OCD about those. Like, I don't like how people clean the bathroom. It's darks, lights, and whites, right? Like, that's like the normal. That's what you were taught. I thought, no. And then all his dress shirts go in this special bin. It is way too much. Now, I understand when we like with bras. Okay, so I either hand wash them in the shower or there's like a little lingerie feature. That's the only thing I separate, and that's because those things cost a lot. Why do we have a red pile and a purple? I'm not understanding what is going on here. I get the folding. I'm really bad at folding. And I should be good because I worked at Old Navy for like 2 summers when I was a teenager. And I was really good at folding. The more kids I got, I was just like, okay, it fits in the drawer. And he was like, no. Man, the color cut, I say the same thing. I am not playing. Next time he comes on a live, ask him about the mini piles. No one believes me until they see it, and they're like, when my sister stayed with us for a little while and she seen his pile and she was like, that is unreal. I was like, it was worse when the kids are babies because they have like a million colors. He had a freaking yellow pile. How many? A yellow. How many yellow items do you own? Really? Oh yeah, and he washes his jerseys separate. Yeah. So he does the laundry. Oh my God. No, like my kids know that he is weird about laundry. The only one that does her laundry faithfully is Hope, right? Because she kind of has her own little OCD thing. Like she likes to watch all the jeans with the jeans, all her tights with her tights. Because like she says that if you wash the jeans with the tight, that she'll get like those little lint balls, and she doesn't like any of that. So I was like, cool, cool, cool. The other two were like solely on Kindle because they'll bring down the laundry and they'll start to load it, and they'll do it on purpose. I'm sitting down here watching and listening. They'll mix things and they'll see, like they can visibly see Kendall's nervous tick. Like he's frustrated about it. So then he's like, I'll just do your laundry. And I'm like, you, sir, have got played yet again. We do fair share cooking. He cooks a lot. I cook a lot. I'm the only baker. He like bakes things out of the box, so but we both cook. We both cook. The kids do the dishes, so awesome having kids for that for a reason. I'm the sweeper. Like I could get because if I let them sweep, I'll find Christmas tree in July, and I'm just like, why? I'm the sweeper. Each person has like a different task. Like Hope does washes the dogs. Faith is like the outdoor, the poop picker upper, and Kinkin is the recycler. We all like Kendall and Faith do the trash too, but Kinkin rolls out the trash. But he's pretty good at picking up all the recycling in the house. Um, yeah, each person does something completely different. But the laundry thing, I can video it, and you'll be like, "What the hell?" I'll be like, "That's pretty much what I say all day." I can't complain. I shouldn't complain because he does my laundry. So yeah, well, Kendall does all the grocery shopping. I will write a list of certain things that I think we should have, but he does all the grocery shopping. Because I don't know, he just does it. Like he usually does it after he gets out of work, or there. I'm laughing because there's this person that is in front of this Giant's grocery store that somehow like Kendall just like he tries to avoid that grocery store like a plague because the the person that has a cashier that's a cashier is always like touching his chest while he's talking, and it just drives Kendall crazy. He's like, just scan the item. Just scan the item, please. Or he'll go into tangents about strawberries or whatever. Um, I'll do the farmer's market, but he does all the grocery shopping too. Because it's usually when I'll call him and be like, hey, I need this, this, and this. And can you go to CVS? Like, I feel like my CVS pharmacy has no idea who I am because Kendall always picks up the prescriptions. Like, it's he like like he comes home and he'll be like, yeah, the cashier is like rubbing his chest and just like, and I think it's a nervous tick, and I'm like, it's weird to see Kendall uncomfortable because he doesn't really get uncomfortable about anything. A chest toucher, yeah, definitely. He because like he's really calm and collected. See me, I have no poker face. Anyone that has hung out with me in real life will tell you I don't have a poker face. So like you see exactly what I'm feeling, and Monica could tell you firsthand. I have no poker face. If it was me, I probably would be with my mouth agape, like with my eyes bugging out and trying not to laugh. Um, so I'm glad he goes instead of me. I have none. For like when the kids go to the dentist, they go with Kendall or me, depending on if they have the daytime. But shots, anytime there has anything with the pediatrician and shots, I give it to Kendall. Faith and Hope scarred me for life. Like I didn't believe you could be traumatized. I have PSD when it comes down to pediatricians. I will write a list to tell Kendall to ask them, like, oh, Hope's saying her foot hurts a lot or da da da, but I won't go. Faith took like three nurses and myself, Kendall, and a doctor to hold her down for a shot at 4. And then Hope, she got her leg cut open when she was 3 turning 4. They put like this ice pack in her wound and they let it sit there for 30 minutes. When they tried to stitch her, she started bucking and flipping out. So they sedated her, and she was sedated because she was talking all this smack about Faith, like, oh my God, Faith snores so loud in her sleep. She was like totally high as a kite off of whatever they gave her to calm her nerves. But even with that, she started bucking. They had to put her in the body brace that they put you in with when you call emergency services, and she was still moving. I had to hold her the top of it. 2 nurses came in, and an orderly and a doctor to get 6 stitches. So I was like, never again. Never. I can't. I can't. They scarred me. I like did not know my daughter was like freaking Hulk smash even on like anti-anxiety medicine. So I don't do those. So he does it because I tell her the truth now. Like she had to get a shot update for one of her immunization shots, And I was like, hey, yeah, you're going to the doctor's when I go to So Magical. And she's like, do I have to get shots? I'm like, I think you get one or two. And she's like, is it going to hurt? I'm like, do I lie to you? She's like, no. I'm like, it may hurt. So I was like, she's like, why do you always schedule it when you're going out of town? And I'm like, you know, I know, I wish, no, I am not, I don't want to hold down a kid while they get, she's freaking Hulk smashing. She's like so small. She's so small, but she's so strong. So freakishly strong. I know. It's the Dr. Doncourt's to the point. I have a really good pediatrician that I'll call and tell him that Kindle's going and I'm worried about this, and this, and this about this kid. And he'll order whatever test, blood work, or whatever. But he knows if it's a shot appointment, I am not going. There's no way in hell. There's no way. I would I would pay somebody like Uber pay, take my child to get shots. I'm good. It broke my heart. The only time I ever cried for my kids is when they were babies and they would get shots and they started crying. Like I blame that on hormones. I would automatically start crying with them. So that was trigger one, and trigger two was hope and faith. I KK has always been pretty good with shots. Like he would, but he does something that will make your heart break. Like he will be stoic and be brave, but then he'll have like tears rolling on one downside of your face, and you're like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't. You don't have to get shots anymore. I'm done. Like when they got the vaccine for the COVID vaccine, like Hope will look at me, is it gonna hurt? I'm like, yeah, no, but maybe the next day. And she'll be like, why is my arm gonna fall off? And then she'll start crying. I'm like, why are you crying? You know, you crying triggers me to cry. So if you pump the brakes, I'm gonna go give you to your dad. Take Hope. So, yeah, he's a good guy. Kindle's a good guy. He takes a lot. Yeah, like it's a lot. Like I can't even watch TikToks like when people go get the baby's ears pierced or like get shots because if a baby starts crying, I automatically want to cry. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I can't. It's too triggering. So I like them better when they're like 1.5 and they don't cry that much. Because I get emotional because they can't talk, they don't know how to communicate, so they only know how to cry to get what they need, and it makes me cry, and then I'll sit there and cry with them. Like Kendall's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take the baby." You're sitting there crying with Kin, like it wasn't good. It wasn't good for me. If you give me a newborn and it starts to cry, I will cry with it. I'm just gonna let you know. It's just that's my Achilles. Babies are so beautiful, and if a puppy cries or whimpers, it's over. I'll start crying. I'll be like, "Oh my god, what's wrong?" Yeah, and Loki knows that. He does this fake whimper. The vet told me to stop feeding into it. So like I'll pet his head, and if I stop, he'll start whimpering, and then I'll pet it again. And I apparently created this vicious cycle that he knows how to do, and he does it at least once a day until he sees a ball, and then he forgets about it. So yeah, I can't handle kids and babies and dogs crying, just so you know. Adults, I'll be like, yeah, you're fine. Here's a tissue. Buck up, buttercup. Let's go. But kids and babies and dogs, no. They're innocent. All right. Oh, Kindle's on here. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, he does everything. I'm just here living my best life. So I'm going to, like I said, finish up the Mabel and filming that, and then try to corn horse Monica to go live with me on Swoon so we can sew some Swoon stuff. And that's it. And yeah, try to film Kindle first part today. Just been it's just been it's been crazy on Sunday and yesterday, so things have calmed down a little bit. So we should be okay to film everything. But I do have two different kinds. I'm trying to debate if I'm going to do like the beeswax or our Old Faithful, the oil one. And I got to pick out fabric because I want to make sure that it's something that I can use either for a tester bag or a bag that I can use for Comic-Con. So I hope everybody has a fantastic day. And if you're able to get some sewing done, that's awesome. And stay safe. And I will talk to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Somebody else asked me about the wallet. Yes. I found it in the middle of under our bed. I don't know how I got there. Yeah, I found it because I was like full-fledged panic attack, like we have to pause or cancel all these cards, and I found it. I found it. Thanks for asking. Oh yeah, it was shipped out just this week, I believe, or Saturday. Probably. I don't know. Loki's his head is massive. I don't think he even fit already, but I don't know. He does some magical weird stuff. He really deserves his name. He is majestic and mischievous. Probably slid behind it, but it was like in the middle. That's the only reason why it threw me off. It wasn't like at the top of the bed where things slide behind or on the bottom. It was in the middle behind our case that you put all your documents in. Yeah. It's a weird place. His paws are big. And he's like he can like curl. I'll see if Kendall can do capture videos. He can curl his paws like hands in to things and grab things. It's really weird. He's freakishly good at his with his paws. Not that great on his hind legs though. He doesn't understand his weight proportion, so he just kind of falls. Yeah, big paws. He's a big boy. Um, so that's it. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. If I can get Monica to go on horse with you, then you'll see me live on Swoon. I hope everyone has a really awesome day. Have a good day. Bye.